we have Dr. Anita Yadav, who is the Senior Advisory of the New Development Bank, Dubai.
Morning, everyone. I'm not going to stand on the stage, please. I'll just sit here. It makes me feel more a part of the group. Yeah? Thank you, Bala, for arranging this. And I don't know why Bala has invited me. I personally have never thought of myself as any kind of big achiever. But still, I'll be happy to share the story. So as she mentioned, I'm Dr. Anita Yadav. I'm 52 years old. So obviously, hearing from Veer, 14-year-old, that's where the achievements are. By my age, most people would have made, career progress and achieved few things and few degrees and few awards. So, which is why I thought it was nothing great. But anyway, so my story is, I was born in a very remote village in India to school-educated parents. Today, I'm senior advisor to the president of New Development Bank in China. I'm the youngest managing director of an investment bank. That happened at the age of when I was 39 as a female managing director of Nomura, which is a Japanese bank that had acquired Lehman Brothers. I was the best credit analyst in Australia. And I'm currently the CEO of Global Credit Advisory, which advises corporates and governments on their debt strategy, including the UAE government and the Ministry of Finance. But these are just kind of career accomplishments. How the journey started was, and my journey actually has a lot of the taboo things that attach to women per se, like when CK said that women from a very young age identify themselves as the half-brick, and there are issues that society places on them which can limit their own belief in themselves. So rape, divorce, discrimination, lack of education, all these things do exist. And we live in a multifaceted world, right? Yes, they do exist, but we all also have the ability to rise over that. What has shaped my journey, I don't know where and which teacher or which relative or who gave me a mantra. I just remember the mantra. I don't remember where and how I got it, but I got it at a very, very young age. And that is, you are responsible for your survival and you are responsible for your happiness. And when I mean survival, it basically means taking economic responsibility of your existence. So and not just that, the more number of people you can take responsibility of beside yourself, the more number of people you can take responsibility of, the greater you are. And history is full of the examples of people, the leaders, whether they're political leaders or economic leaders or spiritual leaders, the more number of lives you can touch, more number of lives you can help, the bigger you are as a person. So the simple mantra, you are responsible for whatever happens to you and whatever you do is the mantra that I worked my life with. So I was married at a very young age and went to Australia, followed my husband. My first job, I was pregnant by then when I got the first job. So I didn't declare to the hiring manager that I was pregnant because I myself only had got to know 2 months pregnant. And by the time I started to show, obviously the company didn't want to pay the whatever 1 year annual leave and things like that. And I got fired when I was 7.5 months pregnant in a remote country, and my husband by then had washed his hands off me in terms of helping me. So that was the first lesson. You are responsible for your survival. All I did was, like anybody would do if you are against your own survival, is I printed 10 CVs every day, took my hospital bag, just in case I have to rush to the hospital in the middle of the day, and went for interviews, not interviews, but knocking the doors of every bank and every hiring manager. That I am educated, I can do the job, give me any job. That's all. Day after day after day, and there was a day when somebody just saw me with, carrying a child inside me and carrying a hospital bag in my hand, and that kind of commitment, and he says, I will hire you without even asking the next question. That's how my first banking job started. Yeah. And because as a first generation migrant from a brown country to a white country, you do face a lot of prejudice and discrimination. But in the end, for every disappointment, there are a lot of opportunities around there. There is that faith in God that, again, I don't know where I got it from, but I do have that. Starting from there, so that was the first job. That's how I entered into banking. In 14 years' time, I was the youngest managing director. All, again, maybe I was just working hard, putting your head down. I also believe not in simple living per se, but simple thinking. The less you think, the better it is. Because we human beings complicate our lives by overthinking and analyzing a bit too much. If you simply, as you had mentioned, she had mentioned, change is the only constant. If you accept change, if you embrace change and use mathematics like Veer does and sit down, this is the circumstances that I've been given, and I need to do the best by myself and the people around me, generally the solution will come to you. The problem happens that instead of focusing on doing the right thing, we end up wanting to do what we like. And our likes are not always what is right for us. So the second lesson that I learned, and just by life again, is do what is right, not what you like. Your likes and dislikes will change all the time, depending on whatever your mood is at the time. But when you focus on doing the right, you always get the right answer somehow. Moving on, then happened, not the COVID, the global financial crisis. I was in the middle of changing jobs. I was given a letter of offer from Lehman Brothers. I was to join them on 1st of October. I was on a 3-month paid the gardening leave. On 18th of September, Lehman Brothers crashed. So I was again jobless in a foreign country and looking for options as to what to do. And all I did there was that I need to be flexible to move wherever, because at that time, the world was going through the global financial crisis. Everything, the economy everywhere was coming to a slow halt and things like that. What I did was, I want to work. If that is the aim I have, I just went back to Nomura and said, move me to Timbuktu if you wish to, and I can do the job. You move me wherever and give me the job. So that was it. Like, you need to do the right thing, do the job, not have limitations on this I like, this I don't like. And so they moved me back to India because I could speak Hindi, because I had the cultural affinity. So what should I say? So, but when they moved me back, effectively what happened, Lehman Brothers was a very large organization, and they had very large operations in India, and simply I happened to be at the right place at the right time with the right attitude and ability to deliver. I got the India operations to manage the entire India operations at a very young age. I was 39 and I had 8,000 staff back in there to integrate. Partly the job was to fire 7,000 out of those 8,000 people, yeah, because Nomura acquired Lehman Brothers and they just needed a scapegoat. Okay, I was willing to do the scapegoat because I had to learn everything and deliver on that. So they moved me there, and I was reporting to Nomura board in Tokyo at the time. We achieved, me and the team, of course. It was a hard job. Firing somebody is a very hard job. Closing down a business is a very hard job. Fighting with the regulators and the Indian government is a hard job. It's an American firm which was doing business in India with a lot of problems there. But again, no emotions involved. It had to be done. It had to be done. We achieved all that within the 18 months, and life moves on. That's when I moved to Singapore after that. So the job was done in India. They moved me to Singapore. Then my husband moved to, by the way, I was married for 28 years before all the drama happened about the divorce. I have 2 kids. I have a daughter who is a doctor in Rashid Hospital, and I have a son who is finishing school now. He ran away from home and moved to Dubai and said, if you want to stay married, you follow me. I actually followed him because I do believe that, you know, the love and support you get from family, but the betrayal and pain also you get from family. So don't make a big issue of it. Remember that we all will suffer because of our families, and we all will get love and support from our families. Strangers don't give you pain. It's only your own people who give you pain. So when somebody mentioned the point of resilience, you know, when you go through the hardships, instead of complaining, so-and-so did this to me, and this is the human life we've taken. We are here to suffer and enjoy both. Yeah? As when I moved here, I was head of fixed income for Emirates NBT. Currently, I'm advisor to the Ministry of Finance here. During COVID, another personal setback happened is when my husband ran away with my maid, married someone, and the divorce was going through. My only way to handle that was to sit down and start studying, because you can't go to work during COVID time, and there is a personal crisis, and that's how I completed my PhD. So the 2 years, actually, I think it was a boon for me. Going through a personal crisis and going through COVID actually proved to be a boon for me for 3 reasons. One, I completed the PhD, so the study did help. 2, I connected more with God. Somehow, every day, 10-minute, 15-minute reading, whichever scriptures come to you. I've read Bible, I've read Quran, I read Gita. It doesn't matter which religion, faith you believe in, as long as you believe in something bigger than yourself. And it doesn't matter how you reach to that source, the intelligence, as long as you try to at least endeavor to reach. No effort is ever wasted. So I think the COVID also brought me closer to God. And it brought me closer to kids. If you remember in here, so many times you will hear people citing their mothers as the inspiring force. Actually, in this world, mothers have a bigger role and bigger duty to play in shaping humanity. Instead of sitting here and blaming, oh, women are discriminated against and blah, blah. Forget the past. We need to do the right. Are we understanding that as women and as mothers, we are playing a very significant role in our kids' lives? And we need to take responsibility of that. It's not just our life for ourselves, but for them. I think it helped me connect with the kids a bit more and guide them a bit more. Yeah? What else do I share? That's it, actually. That's my life journey. So the 3 things I will simplify it. Instead of simple living, believe in simple thinking. You are responsible for your happiness. Please stop blaming others, whoever hurts you, or whoever, and accept change. And please, the more lives we touch, the bigger person we are, and that's why I think Bala is doing a great job. Thank you very much for listening to me.